Hey, what's going on, world? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Impressive Divinity 888. I'm here to bring you that guided motivational message. It's going to get you through the day. All right, so do keep in mind this is a general reading, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. Be sure to take the ones that do and leave the rest for the next. All right, there's definitely more than enough to go around. All right, but I hope your day is going fantastically great, and I hope you're ready to get this guided message. All right, yes, hope you're ready for that healing session. All right, but let's go ahead and let's hop right in and let's get your overall energy for the day. That was a lot of cards, but I think that was all the cards you're supposed to get. Pivot. All right, so off top, you are pivoting in some type of situation. And that message for pivot is sometimes when things aren't falling into place after trying and trying, it's time to ask yourself if pivoting in some way would be a good idea so that your life can flow more easily and effortlessly. How could you pivot even just a little bit? All right. So even if you were to ask yourself that right now, considering the situations, whatever you're going through, whatever you're dealing with, if you can pivot in any direction, which direction would you pivot into? Why would you pivot into that direction? How would you pivot? Like really write it out. Because it's one thing to think about it, like, oh, I will do this, I will do that. But when you're faced with the situation, you're not thinking about them, all of those, oh, I could do this or I could do that. No, you got to like think of the answer or think of your solution right then and there. You know what I mean? So it's like whatever you're facing right now, I think it's just telling you to take a step back, pivot, and look at it from a few different angles. All right, if I try this, this is going to happen. If I try that, that's going to happen. Or if I think like this happened. You get what I'm saying? All right, so the rest of your words here are give, detach, change, and listen. All right. So definitely listen to your heart. Definitely listen to your soul, your intuition. Definitely listen to your spirit guides, the universe. A lot of the times the universe sends us signs and signals and synchronicities about people, about situations. And, sometimes we choose to ignore those signs from the universe and we question things later on down the line, and sometimes we pay attention to those signs from the universe and we're excited with the outcome. Why? Because we chose to pivot. Because it could have told you, well, if you keep going down this route, then this going to happen. But if you try this route, this just might happen. You get what I mean? All right. So for listen, you're being asked to listen to your inner voice. It's been guiding you to do something or say something, and it's time to act on its wisdom. So it's time for you to listen to your inner voice. If you've been put in that, that positive voice, or there was that voice of reasoning. There we go. If you've put that voice of reasoning on the back burner, it's time to bring that thing back to the front. All right, put the thing on high heat. Okay, you need that voice of reasoning in a lot of different situations. Sometimes I get it. You're like, oh, get out of here, get out of here. You're just ready to pluck it. But at other times, you need that voice of reasoning because it keeps you on the right path or on the right track, on track. All right. So next up, you got change. All right. You're being asked to change a part of yourself that no longer feels like the person you've become or are becoming. Change isn't always easy, but letting go of this outdated part of yourself will allow you to align with your true self. All right. So definitely changing something about yourself, something about the way you view situations. You are either in the process of changing or there's something that you need to change. I'm kind of thinking it's something that you need to change only because it came right after listen. All right. So it's kind of telling you to listen to your intuition, listen to your gut. All right. And make the appropriate changes as necessary. All right. And those appropriate changes could be detaching yourself from certain things. All right. You got to remember detachment isn't always people. Detachment isn't always relationships. Sometimes attachments, for example, could be you watching a TV show that, got done well. You don't need to be watching because it's bringing you down. It's like bringing your vibration down instead of lifting it up. You get what I mean? So it's like when you see the detached card, are you thinking about, or you think about detaching from a situation or um, detaching from, I'll say, an atmosphere or a location, because locations could do that too, people, places, and things. Sometimes you can go somewhere and it can remind you of this and that and put you in this mindset and that mindset. You get what I mean? So it's like definitely learning to detach yourself from people, places, and things. All right. But your message for detach is you're being asked to detach from something that you've been holding on to. When we hold on too tightly to the desired outcome, it restricts the flow. Trust that the outcome will work out and let go of your attachment to it. So if you're holding on right now to maybe, we'll just say an old way of thinking, all right, I feel like it's telling you to listen to your intuition and change something. The fact that you realize that you're stuck in an old mindset, that's progress. All right. That's letting you know that you're ready to take that next step. That's letting you know that you're ready to detach from something. That's letting you know that you're ready to, I'm going to pick the whole deck up, to detach and pivot. All right. What's under that? Release. All right. So, yes, there is something that you have to let go of. And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't always have to be a person or a thing. It could even be something I don't say internal, eternal. I mean, it could be something internal, you know what I mean, that you need to let go of. Let's just say you're somebody that's uptight. You know what I mean? Or let's just say you're somebody that's shy in public or shy around other people, or, you're just introverted, or you're to self, or, I feel like it's telling you to pivot and just detach yourself from overthinking, because sometimes you can overthink yourself into a frenzy. It's possible, so I think it's telling you to, hey, stop, breathe, and try not to overthink. All right. I know it's always easier said than done, but at the end of the day, try not to overthink. All right. And then you also got give. One of the best feelings we can experience is giving to others. When we do so, we feel lifted up and our lives improve greatly because of someone else's happiness. Think of one way you can give to another today. All right. And in this case, I want you to give to another person, but I want you to give to another person in the form of a compliment. If you're somebody that, let's just say, people normally always give you compliments. All right, try to do something different and give somebody else a compliment. Hey, I really love your shirt today. Or, hey, I like how you styled your hair. Or, hey, I'm really liking that new sweater you got on. You know what I mean? Just small compliments. They go a very long way. All right. And sometimes us as people, we can sit here and get so caught up, with somebody else giving us compliments that we don't even pay attention that we didn't even give them a compliment back. So that's something to keep in mind too. All right. So I don't know. Something different I want you to try today is just giving somebody a compliment. All right. So let's go ahead and keep things moving, and let's get a little bit more. Let's get some more energy. All right. And let's see the full picture of what you're releasing, what you're letting go of, why you're listening to your intuition, your gut, what you need to change, what you need to detach from, as well as different ways that you can give back. But I'm thinking your give back has a lot to do with compliments or things that aren't necessarily materialistic items. I think it's more like words, or words of encouragement. All right, bottom of the deck. Whoa, what happened here? I don't know what I did. Type of shuffling. Creator and careerist. Something has to do with your career or your creativity. I'm going to give that another shuffle just because I don't know exactly what happened there. Why that card was flipped around. But something has to do with maybe your career and your creativity. Or maybe it's telling you to be creative when it comes to your career. All right. Maybe you're tired of working the same 9-to-5 job, or, you know what I mean? And you're just ready to do something different. I feel like maybe it's telling you to, take a step back, pivot, and, find out the different opportunities that are available to you. All right. Bottom of the deck, security guard, service provider, watchman, and patrol keeper. All right. So maybe you're somebody that provides a service. Maybe that's what type of business you're getting into. All right. Or business that you have. All right. You got homeless on the bottom of the deck. Okay. So you got vendor, revolutionist, and educator. Definitely said I was getting the vibes that I was talking to somebody that had some type of business or something of some sort. All right. But if you don't, hey, you could just be an entrepreneur and you just out here doing your thing. Excuse me. All right. So on the bottom of the deck, like I said, you got homeless, which is unemployment, solitude, hunger, bankruptcy, wandering. Off this card, I'm kind of getting the vibes that maybe yours is wandering, only because I feel like maybe you're stuck in between. I don't want to say stuck in between two worlds, but maybe you're stuck in between two things. And whatever these two things you're stuck in between, it kind of has you like in a frenzy almost. All right. So you also got educator, vendor, and revolutionist. So for educator, imparter, mentor, guide, teacher. All right. With this card, I'm getting the vibes that maybe this is somebody you need to reach out to, or this is somebody you need to look for. All right, some type of teacher, some type of mentor, some type of guide, or some type of imparter, somebody that can teach you the ropes, or somebody that can help you out of the situation, or somebody that can give you, excuse me, the advice that you need. All right, you got vendor, which is merchant, retailer, individual entrepreneur. All right, so if if it is something to do with your business, then I feel like it's telling you to maybe look at something in a different way. Maybe to detach yourself from your business of being a business owner and maybe look at it like you're one of your customers or your clients. You know, if you were a client, how would you rate your business? How would you rate your service? You know what I mean? What would you give? What rating would you give, or what stars would you give? I'm trying to think of a few different ways, you know. But like I said, when you look at these cards, there's a bunch of different messages. You just take the ones that resonate with you the most, whether I bring it out or, bring it up or not. All right. So, um, also with this vendor card, maybe this has to do with a specific place. All right. Because remember, we were talking about letting go of those people, places, and things and detaching from people, places, and things. So this could have something to do with a certain location, a place. Maybe there's something you're holding on to, or something that gives you memories of something, but I feel like it's something you're holding on to. It's like a physical item, or it's a place, like a retailer. We'll just say like a grocery store, or, there's something that makes you uneasy, or something that makes you uncomfortable, or a certain place that you don't visit because of the way that it makes you feel. All right. And then you got revolutionist right after that. All right, which is champion of transformation, freedom fighter, pursuer of welfare and justice. So, in actuality, I think that it's telling you to stand up for yourself, to speak up for yourself. All right, because like I said, yes, it could be a place that you need to, maybe not be at, because it brings out certain emotions inside of you, so it's like you definitely try to avoid it at all costs. All right. But then at the same time, it's telling you to also fight for your rights. So maybe that whatever this place is, maybe this place made you feel extremely small, or maybe this person, if it's not a place, then it's a person. Maybe this person made you feel, as if you weren't good enough, as if you weren't worthy enough. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is telling you to stand up for yourself. All right. It's telling you to release and let go and detach from, certain things that, made you not feel as powerful as you are, because people, places, and things do have a way of doing that. All right. And I kind of think that's what it is. It's just telling you to, no longer let people or let situations or let certain places stop you from living life. All right. And maybe, like I said, finding that educator, that mentor, that tutor, maybe somebody that can, help you and guide you through, navigate you. That's what I was looking for through this situation. All right. What was on the bottom of the deck here? Bank, financial institution, saving and investing, loan and credit. All right. So even if it cost you a pretty penny, maybe it's telling you to save up. All right. So that you can get this teacher, this mentor, or this educator. All right. Because you have bank and then you have educator. All right. Or maybe this educator works in a bank. Maybe this educator deals with money. Maybe this educator has something to do with investing and saving, or just investing. Maybe there's an educator that wants to invest in you, or you know what I mean? Like, you have to look at this from a few different ways. All right. But let's go ahead and get some confirmation cards here. I thought that was one. I couldn't tell. It was blending in. Whoa, that's one of the wrong ones in the deck. What is that? Only me. What are these? We're going to look at these only because I don't know why these are in this deck. Are there any more in there? For whatever reason. And I shuffled the deck. For whatever reason, we're going to take a glance. All right, before we look at these, let's look at the ones that came out first. You got Fuel Station, you got Lake, and you got Rigid Dream. All right, so I said Rigid, Frigid Realm. I don't know what is going on with my wording today. But, yeah, Fuel Station. I feel like you're going to be refueled after you pivot, after you make certain decisions. Like, all right, I tried this, I tried that. Let me try this, let me try that. Or, you know what I mean? I feel like you're going to be refueled and you're going to know what to do. You're going to know what to release. You're going to know where that fresh start is. Look at the way that card flipped out. All right, you're going to know where that fresh start is. All right. You're going to lighten up. Oh my goodness. We're just going to put that whole deck down because, I feel like once you pivot, things are going to change for you. All right. Because right now you could be feeling like this frigid realm, this icy wilderness, this Arctic wonders, this polar extremes. You might not feel like this all the time, but maybe certain memories, certain places, certain people, they kind of make you feel cold or make you go cold hearted. When there's definitely a time and place for everything. There are some times where you may have to have a cold heart, but to have that cold heart every day towards everybody that didn't do anything to you, that's a thought. So I think that that's one of the things that's, going to change, or one of the ways that your thoughts are going to begin to change. All right. And then that's when you're going to pivot. And of course, you're going to get to that fuel station. You're going to fuel up. All right. You got refueling stop, convenience store, charging station. All right. So it's almost like your battery. It's almost like your battery is low. All right. And you need to pivot so that you can recharge it. All right. Because it's almost like, it's low and it's low. It's almost like when your battery on your phone is low. It's slow. It keeps telling you it's slow. I don't know if you're anything like me where, the battery's down and instead of putting it on the charge, you just keep checking that percentage, seeing, if it's close to 1%, and then you finally put it on the charger. All right. I feel like it's telling you to pivot so that you don't have to look at the situations in that way. You don't have to wait to the very last minute to make that decision, or the very last minute to change, or the very last minute to detach. All right. It's telling you to listen to your intuition now so that you can make the right decisions right now that will affect you later. All right. And you also had lake. All right. Which is tranquil waters and reflections. All right. So it could be something that's reflecting back to you, or maybe, you're reflecting back on certain people, certain places, certain things. All right. And that's what's making you want to stand up for yourself and make some changes. All right. But let's see what came out here. You got school, you got art exhibition, you got factory. Was only one of those cards? Because those are, yeah, okay. It was only the one. We still gonna look at them because they all came out. But you get, or I pulled them out. You got aesthetic, which is seeker of self-restraint, abstinence, purification, discipline. So yeah, that's what it is. Definitely have to discipline yourself. It could have a lot to do with self-discipline. Maybe you've just been going on with life the way that life has been. I feel like these cards definitely have a lot to do with it too, because school definitely came out with educator. All right. So there's something that you have to teach yourself, whether that's a creative way to express your emotions, whether that's a creative way to pivot or make changes within your life. All right, you got factory, industrial production, manufacturing process, assembly line. All right, when you think about assembly lines, everything has a place. Like I grew up on this saying, everything has a place and everything should be in its place. All right, same thing goes with your life. Everything in your life has a timing and a place. All right, so if you live your life accordingly, or you do the things that you know that you want to do or that you need to be doing, you know what I mean? Then I feel as if everything's going to happen as it's meant to. But if you go off track, then of course, what's going to happen? You're not going to feel refueled, and you may always feel cold hearted. All right. Coffee house, coffee, tea, pastry, indulgence. All right. You also got hospital, medical care, treatment center, hotel, hospitality. All right, you got swimming pool, pool parties, home, personal space. So to be honest, just looking at this, because we pulled these cards out. Well, I pulled these cards out. I feel like a lot of it has to do. I feel like a lot of it has to do with something on the outside. I don't necessarily think that it is. I don't want to say something on the outside, but I don't necessarily think that it's something that has to do with a physical person. I mean, it could, because it could be the way that you feel about somebody, but I also feel like it's just telling you to let something flow, just like this river on the bottom of the deck. It's telling you to let something flow. And I think in order for you to let something flow, you have to have what? You have to have self-discipline. All right. You have to be able to listen to your heart. You have to be able to listen to your intuition. You have to be able to listen to the universe when the universe is trying to tell you certain things or show you certain things. All right. Because let's just say the universe gives you a sign or symbol for you to be able to fuel up. You know what I mean? But if you miss that sign, then it's like, are you ever going to fuel up? And if you do, is it going to be too late? You know what I mean? So it's like you have to look at it in a few different ways. All right. So let's go ahead and get you a motivational quote here to pretty much sum up your reading and pretty much just confirm, move these out the way, pretty much just confirm everything that we got going on the board. All right. But I just think it's some inner work that has to be done, to be honest, but I don't think it's like inner work, like, where you have to beat yourself up about it. I just think it's you being honest with yourself, because sometimes you can lie to yourself and be honest with other people, or lie to yourself, lie to other people. In actuality, nobody really gets the help that they need, or nobody truly gets the answer that they need. All right. And that's another thing, is to make sure when you're doing certain things and you're telling people, make sure you're telling people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. All right. It's definitely easy to tell somebody what they want to hear just because you want to please them. But sometimes people need to get in the mindset of understanding that everything's not going to go their way. All right. Sometimes people have to be put into their place. And I don't mean like physically put into their place, but sometimes people have to be put into their place mentally. All right. Emotionally. All right. I don't know who that message was intended for, but yeah. All right. But let's go ahead and get your motivational quote here to end out your reading and pretty much sum up everything that you got going on. All right. Definitely got a lot of them. I don't know why so many came out. But if you think you are alone, you are not. We are beside you in all challenges that you face. Trust that the outside sources will always be working with you to ensure the best outcome in every situation. We have your best interest at heart. We love you. All right. And I said the universe is always working in your favor behind the scenes, whether you realize it or not. All right. Let's dive into these other motivational messages that you did get here. All right. So you got to have more faith in yourself. Be proud of how you are navigating every curveball that life throws at you. How you deal with those times shows your true inner resilience, and nothing can break that. That within itself is an inspiration for others. So keep shining your light. All right. So have more faith in yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Like I said, don't beat yourself up about things that you can't change. All right. The past is the past. Let the past be the past. Leave it there. All right. It's time for you to focus on the now and ways that you can build a steady bridge or a steady path for your future. All right. Perhaps you are reminded all too often just how quickly the phases in your life can shift, one change after another. You are learning to adapt and grow. So be kind and gentle with yourself. All right. And that's what we said after change, because you know that, something about you is changing. Either your life is changing, the way that you're, looking at other people, or the way that, you're just your perspective on life. Maybe something around you is changing and you're feeling the energy, and maybe it makes you a bit uncomfortable or a bit nervous. And that right there is when you have to learn to pivot. All right. Because at that very moment, that's when you're making decisions and choices that have a lot to do with the now and the later. All right. Don't allow anyone to abuse your power or take it away from you. Remember, you will be treated how you allow others to treat you. Show them that you value yourself far too much to settle for anything less than you deserve. All right. So we don't settle for less around here. All right. And maybe releasing certain things, attaching yourself from certain situations. All right. Maybe that's going to help you remember who you are. All right. Maybe that's going to help you not allow people to abuse their power or take your power away from you. All right. Because maybe that's what it is. Somebody could have took your power. Somebody could have thought they took your power. And maybe this was somebody that you trusted. All right. And this person, they took advantage of you in a situation. Maybe they took advantage of you when you were vulnerable, you know what I mean? Or you were in a vulnerable state and they took advantage of you, the situation. And it's like you had to go through certain things in order for you to realize that. But I feel like today is your wake up call. All right. For you to not allow anyone to ever put you in that position again. All right. And you got, last but not least, let go of the old and make way for the new. You may find yourself being distracted by random thoughts, fears, or doubts. Don't allow yourself to be governed by them. Simply observe and choose to take aligned actions and choices. Didn't I just say that? So, yes, it's all in the choices and decisions that you make. All right. You can be stuck in a certain mindset, or you could be going through a certain situation. All right. And your mindset could be stuck on one thing. But just because your mindset is stuck on that one thing doesn't necessarily mean that that's a decision that you have to make, or that's the route that you have to go, or that's the person that you have to choose. All right. You have to take the time out and you have to make the decisions that are going to align best with what you got going on. All right. Because it's definitely easy to get caught up in somebody else's world, somebody else's life. All right. But I feel like, you going through the things that you've been through, it has most definitely sharpened you to be a different person. All right. And I feel like right now you're not allowing people to take advantage of you because you've learned your self worth. You know what I mean? Or you're in a process of learning your self worth. All right. But it's like right now, you definitely have to just take a few steps back and just listen, whether that's to yourself, whether that's to the universe, whether that's just sitting in silence with yourself for a couple minutes. All right. But the answers that you seek, they're always there. But sometimes you have to be able to just take a few minutes out of your day to see them. All right. All right. All right. So that is your guided motivational message for the day. If you are feeling the vibes, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button to always be notified of those future episodes. And also be sure to tune back in here with me tomorrow morning to get that daily dose of motivation. All right. So in the meantime, in between time, I'm gonna definitely need you just to take a few steps back and really listen to yourself. All right. I feel like your inner self has the answers that you have been looking for. All right. But for whatever reason, I don't necessarily think that you've trusted that part of yourself. All right. And that's the part that you really need to trust because that's the part that's going to get you where you need to go, whether that's physically, mentally, or even emotionally. All right. Everything doesn't have to deal with, you physically leveling up. You level up emotionally, you level up mentally. You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes you have to be in certain situations so that you can make your mind stronger. Your mind stronger, your heart stronger, your thoughts stronger. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes you have to be put in certain situations to even see that. And I think that that's what it is. You were just put into the situation so that you can detach yourself, and you can renew yourself and figure out where you want to go from here. All right. And I feel like whoever this educator, mentor, guide, or teacher is, I feel like this person is either helping you. Look at that discipline. This person is either helping you or this person is assisting you with showing you different ways of how you can detach or how you can discipline yourself. All right. And it's so important. So important. All right. Definitely. Purification slid out. We seen. Yeah. All right. But that is your message once again. But in the meantime, in between time, I feel like you got this. All right. You just got to take your time and understand that everything happens in divine timing. All right. Don't rush fate. What's meant to be is going to be. All right. But at the end of the day, you got to focus on those attachments. All right. Let go of things that are no longer serving you. All right. All right. Be sure to have an awesome, awesome, awesome type of day. And I'll be sure to vibe with you later.